Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. Welcome to our YouTube live stream, March 20th. Can you include your children in your overseas residency application? Are your children 15, 20, 30, 40, or even 50 years old with their own families sometimes? Which programs out there or golden visa residencies will allow the entire family, including your children, no matter what age they are, to be applying together for that residency? Which countries rank in the top of our list for residency, healthcare, and education, and the flexibility to include the family, even if they've outgrown you and live on their own? Today's live stream is unedited, uncensored, no special effects, just like the rest of our YouTube videos on our channel. Quick introduction, folks, before we jump in. We're going to introduce who I am because that's proper etiquette. My name is Reza, founder of CEO Ingwe Immigration, your gateway to second, third, or even fourth or fifth residencies and citizenships. Yes, it's 100% legal, folks. We have an active portfolio of more than 20 countries and programs servicing our clientele around the world, opening up a world of possibilities for investors, serious professionals seeking either residencies or citizenships. At Ingwe, we've successfully helped thousands of clients since 2018 from over 55 different countries around the world to navigate the complex landscape of business and investment migration. We cover Europe, Central America, North America, the Caribbean islands, and even New Zealand in terms of top destination and secure and safe residency and citizenship programs, which may be of interest to you or your clients. Whether you're seeking fast-track residency, looking to invest in real estate abroad, aiming to retire comfortably, enhance your quality of life, or find crypto-friendly tax countries, or perhaps even acquire direct citizenship without moving anywhere, whether it's for yourself or future generations, we do offer a diverse range of options. We provide more than just visa assistance. We're committed to supporting you from beginning to end. So we're there the whole way, whether it's government policies, paperwork, language barriers, time zones, investment selection, portfolio diversification, whether it's for yourself or your children, we are there to support you. Whether you're looking for residency, a citizenship, or a citizenship without moving, these are all within our ability and portfolio. You can reach out to us using the forms with the link below this video or going through our website contact us page. So you're contemplating a golden visa residency program to another country for your family, especially for your children. Which one is the best? Which one are you eligible for? Which one are your children eligible for? Well, you're not alone. 99% of all applicants in our clientele, their main motivation to these programs are for their children and future generation. It's very rare for our clients to be doing this purely for themselves when getting another residency or passport for another country, unless they're perhaps a retiree or pensioner where they want to move to a nice little beach town or a tropical place and enjoy the rest of their lives. That's a different case. We will break down all the possible golden visa residency programs to Europe, Central America, or even around the Australia and New Zealand regions. Our focus today is countries where you and your children can and would actually reside in, not just potentially buying a citizenship. Therefore, we're ruling out the Caribbean island citizenship investment programs for this video, as most of our clients for those programs just want to get the passport, don't actually want to go reside on those islands. No offense, those are beautiful islands, but of course, it's not for everyone. Let's jump into it, folks. In the EU, the most popular golden visa residency programs allows you to include your dependents, such as your spouse, common law, and children. The children's age, financial dependency, and marital status is extremely important, and that is what qualifies them to be included in your residency application or not. Where in the EU region can you buy residency outright for you and your children and the dependent family members? Well, it's Malta, Portugal, as you know, Italy, Greece, as you may also know, Spain, a popular one, Cyprus, and even Bulgaria. In Malta, let's start with Malta, folks, one of our favorite programs. Dependent children can be under the age of 29, but have to be single and 100% financially independent to be eligible to be included in your application for the Malta Permanent Residency Program. 29 is a good age in terms of anything under 29, which is why it's one of the most flexible programs out there in the EU region. Keep in mind that the Malta also has a citizenship investment program, which is separate, and it's the only country in the EU which basically sells its passport outright without a residency requirement. And it also offers the Malta Tax Residency Program, which is open to all nationalities without restrictions. All of these programs provide you a residency in Malta to live and reside in the country at your leisure with your children and visa-free access to 27 EU Schengen region countries. There's also one of our favorite programs since it's a bilingual country, Malta. You can find many UK campuses for post-secondary education where your children can potentially study there in an English curriculum. You don't need to learn a new language because it is a bilingual country. Of course, Malta is in the Mediterranean and the weather and lifestyle are always, top-notch. Our second favorite program in the EU, allowing your family an easy transition for residency, is Italy. Besides all the glitz and glamour and famous Italian brands, many applicants enjoy the fast processing of the investor residency program and the fact that if you have older children who may be 22, 24, 28, or even 30, as long as you can provide the supporting documentation that they are single and 100% financially dependent on you, the parent or parents, it is still possible to include them in your residency application to Italy. The official dependent age limit in Italy for these programs is 18. But if your child is over 18 and single financial dependent and still a full-time student, you can include them in the application. The onus is on the applicant to provide the supporting documentations to make this claim and to allow the embassy to approve it. If you have questions, reach out to us and we can do a soft assessment on your case and your family composition after qualifying for the main investor residency program. Italy allows children to study for free at public schooling from elementary to high school. For post-secondary, the tuitions are very reasonable, although not free. The only drawback is that the curriculum is not in English unless you send your children to a private school, which is a bit more costly, but still relatively affordable. The lifestyle in Italy is always world-class, as everyone knows, as long as you're open to residing in a country where English is not the main language. If you're open to exploring new possibilities, it's a good spot and very, very in demand at the moment. Another favorite of ours is the Portugal Golden Visa. Nobody exists on this planet who has not heard of the Portugal program. Most likely one of the most popular Golden Visa programs since its inception for the EU region, before the real estate option was removed from one of the investment categories. With a cool, crisp 500,000 euros, you can qualify for residency that can lead to citizenship in Portugal without the need to reside there full-time. Although the official dependent age limit for the program for your children is 18, it has the same flexibility as the Italian program, where older children who are single, financially dependent, can qualify with the right supporting documentation during your residency process. Even parents can be included in Portugal for that process as well, which is a very unique feature of the program. The only drawback of the Portugal program, it is a bit slow and probably the slowest program in all of the EU Golden Visa programs. In terms of lifestyle, weather, food, people, crime rate, well, we believe Portugal ranks number 1 in Europe. Obviously, this can be contested. Of course, this is from the point of view of somebody who is not looking for employment or work and just wants to enjoy good food, beaches, weather, and kind and calm atmosphere. Similar to Italy, the public education is all in their own language, which is Portuguese. And if you're challenged language-wise like I am, then you can consider to pay for private schooling for your younger children. Children can study for free at public and elementary high schools, and post-secondary institutions the costs are peanuts compared to the UK, US, Australia, or even Canada. Remember that we're always posting about these key details for investors, entrepreneurs, professionals regarding new programs, policy changes, residencies, passports, tax relief, crypto-friendly countries. And if that's what you're interested in, you should subscribe to our YouTube channel because that's all we talk about. Next on our list is Greece, where the Golden Visa program through a real estate investment of 250,000 euros, and yes, that's correct, you can qualify with less than 400,000 euros. This is 2025, folks. Allows an applicant to move their spouse, common law, and children under the age of 21, although they need to remain single and financially independent throughout the residency process in order to renew and include them. In terms of quality of life, I would just comment that although Greece is in the blue zone, it doesn't necessarily mean you have top-notch education or healthcare. It just basically relaxed atmosphere, no stress. Although I think it's great for pensioners, retirees, and casual EU visits, and perhaps a quote-unquote fun residency to have a villa or apartment on the beach, I don't believe it would be the right choice for your children unless one of you in the family is Greek, kudos to you, or speaks Greek. You may be wondering, why is Spain not on our list, Reza? What's happening? Actually, it is. It has a special place in our hearts with its Golden Visa program, which is receiving a facelift April 3rd, 2025, and is expected to reopen later this year with a whole new bunch of changes. And of course, real estate is on the top of the chopping block for the Spanish Golden Visa in the new version that's coming up. Children under the age of 18 are officially allowed, but the same situation applies as did for Italy and Portugal for Spain. If your children is fully financially dependent on you and single with proper support and documentation, you can include them in your residency in your Golden Visa application. Keep an eye out later this year in 2025 when the Golden Visa 2.0 for Spain will be relaunched by the government to check all the details on eligibility and investment options. Spain is number one for healthcare today on our list compared to the rest of the programs. And in terms of education options, also ranking very high with a lot of good options, including private and public. Hence, it's actually one of our top 3 destinations in Europe for families to reside in through the Golden Visa program. Well, let's cover some of the lesser known programs in the EU region, such as Cyprus and Bulgaria. Bulgaria, yes. Let's start with Cyprus. Cyprus allows children under the age of 25 to qualify as dependents, which make it quite a flexible program. Cyprus is part of the EU, but not part of the Schengen region. The investment options are either through 300,000 euros in any asset category on the island, which can include shares in a company or even real estate, or the BFU, Business Financial Unit option of 200,000 euros to your own company, which you register, which will give you a job offer, meaning it's actually a zero investment because you're basically giving your own company money that you can reuse for your own business activities locally or overseas. The former provides you and your child permanent residency for 10 years renewable, and the latter is a work permit valid for 2 to 3 years. Both paths lead to the same citizenship timeline in Cyprus. In terms of lifestyle, you can't go wrong on this island. I used to have a residency as well. As you expected, life expectancy will increase due to the food, beaches, and very laid-back atmosphere. Nothing goes wrong. Bulgaria, let's cover that. Recently became part of the Schengen region in March 2024. Its Golden Visa and Trade Rep Office program allows foreigners to reside full-time in this EU country. You can opt for the investment option through a registered fund with a minimum 512,000 euros that leads to a permanent residency in the country for you and your family. And you can also opt for the Trade Representative Office program, which requires zero investment and leads to a temporary residency, which can be converted to permanent residency within 5 years with minimal time in the country. Dependent children under the age of 18 can be included in your residency application to Bulgaria. So what happens if your child is 21, 28, or maybe 40 years old? Well, there's a loophole. And I guess that's why you're watching this YouTube channel, aren't you? There's a loophole for the Bulgarian program. Yes, there is. You can appoint them, your children, your adult children, as trade representatives for your overseas company or anyone else's company. Uncle Joe's, Auntie Mary's, doesn't matter, without them needing to be a shareholder or paid staff of that company. So you could have a friend in the UK or in Japan or in Kenya who has a company, and you've got your child is, I don't know, in Los Angeles or San Francisco or New York or Vancouver or anywhere in the world. You get the point. And that company can appoint your child, and obviously we're not talking about a minor here anymore, to be their trade representative to go to Bulgaria and receive that residency without the need of actually being paid for it. Hence, your adult children can actually join you to come to Bulgaria, this EU country, on a temporary resident, no matter how old they are. So if they're 40 years old, they can be included. Does that blow your mind? Well, it does. It's 100% legal and possible. And they could have their own family as well. So they could be married, 50 years old, 30, doesn't matter. They could have 6 children. They could be on their own. They could be living in another country. And because of the Trade Representative Office program in Bulgaria, and let's say you're going to Bulgaria for your permanent residency or your temporary, you could be a trade rep, they could be one, or they could just be them. And you could immigrate together to Bulgaria, which is EU, Schengen, and you don't need to live there full time. And it's got a pretty good lifestyle. Obviously, language is not in English, but it is an option out there. And it requires zero investment if you do the TRO option, but there is the 512,000 euro option for the registered investment fund in Bulgaria, which gives you an outright permanent residency. But of course, if you do that route, your children or adult children can do the TRO option, trade rep office. Okay. Well, if that confused you a lot, just reach out to us. Give us your family composition. Tell us what your goals are, and we'll do a soft assessment and let you know what's possible, what isn't. Now, moving away from the EU region, we have 2 other favorite golden visa style residency programs, which are good options for your family and children. And sometimes your children are way older than I am sometimes, but that's okay. In the eyes of all fathers and mothers, we remain their kids, no matter what. Panama and New Zealand. If you're thinking of getting far and away, and I'm not talking about that movie with Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise, and having a backup plan B for your family, New Zealand is the destination of choice, if you can afford it. Children under the age of 25 are eligible to be included in your investor residency application to New Zealand. The reason it is on our list today is that it is an English-speaking country, meaning all education is conducted in English at elementary, high school, and universities and colleges. It has the 5th most powerful ranking passport in the world because, New Zealand is New Zealand. It's kind of like the Switzerland outside of the EU. Its healthcare and education rank top-notch in the entire world. There's nothing to lose in this program except to allow some of your money to be invested in New Zealand in some of the funds, or depending on how much you invest. Well, you're asking how much? Well, it's either, hold your breath, 5 million New Zealand dollars, it's about 2.8 million US, or 10 million New Zealand dollars, depending on which category investment you're doing. So if you're doing real estate, equities, and bonds, you do the more expensive option, 10 million New Zealand dollars. And you still own it and control it. It's not like an EB5, you invest in some random fund or something, or somebody else manages it for you. But for the 5 million New Zealand dollars, yes, it's a managed fund. There's a registered link of all the registered funds that are available. They're higher risk, but of course, it's a lower investment. Yes, this is obviously for people who can afford it. And 2 very unique features of this New Zealand investor program are the permanent residencies for life without any renewal process. Yes, folks, it is the only permanent residency card in the entire world, like I'm talking about the planet Earth, that is permanent. Every other permanent residency, green card, whatever card, golden visa card, Trump card, gold card, platinum card, titanium card, I don't care. Those are all renewable and have residency requirements. The PR card of New Zealand is for life. And you never have to actually live there after you become a permanent resident. So you start as an investor. So you get an investor temporary residency where you can live and work and study there, or your children can. You only spend 3 weeks and 3 years to convert it to permanent residency if you invest 5 million New Zealand dollars. If you want to invest in real estate or government bonds or listed equities on your own, you've got to invest higher, and you'd have to spend 3 months and 5 years. After that timeline, you get permanent residency. And permanent residency is for life. You can put it in your back pocket. Never again go to New Zealand until the day you need it or your children need it. And that is the ultimate plan B. And if you can afford it, It is probably one of the best programs out there. And luckily, in April 2025, which is just in a few weeks, the government is removing the requirements for language for New Zealand, meaning that no matter if you speak English or don't speak English, do want to take the language exam, don't want to take it, cannot take it, or whatever it is, you do not require it. These are all new changes that have come up with the New Zealand government change over the past several months. Well, let's jump into our final country in terms of golden visa family-friendly countries. Last but not least is Panama. Allows adult children to invest in the golden visa program together with the parents to include the whole family. To give you an example, if you're 50 years old, like I am, and your parents have most of the money needed for this program, let's say they have $200,000 or you have 10,000, they have 190,000. If you're from Canada, US, EU, South Africa, or any of the friendly nations countries, which is part of the Panama Golden Visa program. If not, you invest $300,000 into a real estate project or real estate unit, real, tangible. If your children or you are the child and your parents have money, you can combine the funds and apply together. Panama is one of the most flexible golden visa programs in the world, with a tax-free jurisdiction on overseas income, crypto-friendly, and no residency requirements to actually become no permanent residency requirements to become eligible for citizenship in 5 years, meaning you don't have to live there full time. You just visit once every 2 years. The fastest golden visa processing time in the Western Hemisphere was 6 to 8 weeks max after the real estate purchase has been completed. And you can bring your children as dependents or combine them as applicants under the golden visa family route. If you have adult children, they don't need to be single. They could have their own children. They've got 10,000, they've got 5,000, maybe they've got $1,000. Maybe all the money's with the parents. Well, you invest together and you all get the golden visa permanent residency from Malta. This is an amazing program, and you can let us know to provide you more details, including a custom breakdown of all the fees and steps based on your family composition and your short, medium, and long-term goals. We're hosting a Panama Golden Visa field trip from March 31st this year to April 3rd, where we meet the Ministry of Commerce, which actually processes the Golden Visa. We meet bankers, government officials, real estate developers and their projects. And in case anyone you know or yourself would like to benefit from this field trip, there's no additional fee as long as you cover your own flight ticket, and we have a discounted hotel. You can reach out and RSVP to us before March 31st. The rest of it is with us. We've got over 20 people going, and we would welcome you as well. There you have it, folks. The best of the best for you, your children, and future generations. In case this is all too overwhelming for you, reach out to us for a quick assessment by completing a quick questionnaire, which will take you probably 2 to 3 minutes. The links are provided on our website and below this video to receive a custom proposal, do a quick assessment, and detailed guide for any of these programs. Consider us as the boutique concierge for global residency and citizenship programs. If you like immigration hacks, creative immigration solutions, or key analysis and exposed truth about immigration policies and updates, then you can click on the subscribe button for our YouTube channel, where we post most of our videos on the latest residencies, citizenships, and even fast-track passport programs. And of course, thank you for tuning into our live session today. If you see the potential for yourself, your family, or your clients in securing a second, third, or fourth residency or citizenship, make sure you stay connected with us for the latest updates and opportunities. At Ingway, we're dedicated to customizing solutions for you and your clients or your family. These are not cookie cutter style packages. We offer a variety of programs to match your goals backed by our expertise and experience, transparency, choice, and security. That's our commitment. With our comprehensive insurance and client trust accounts in our North American financial institutions, we protect your interests. Plus, our multilingual team speaks 10 languages. And we support clients from 55 different countries around the world who are moving or applying for residencies or citizenships. Ready to take the next step? Click on the link below this video. Contact us, fill out the form, do the questionnaire, we do an assessment. We can get on a one-on-one call if you are eligible. Remember, folks, we have a Panama field trip scheduled for end of March, early April this year, 2025. And we have an Italy field trip coming up in May, where we can explore the residency programs and the investment options and the lifestyle in Italy with a group of investors and partners. So if you're interested, reach out to us. And of course, folks, we're here every week, Thursday, to answer your questions, to review your comments, and to educate you, and to explore and expose those programs, those details that nobody tells you about. But maybe you know the program, but you don't know those nitty-gritty details that, will your adult children be eligible? What if you have a specific type of family composition which is not conventional, but you want to apply and you want to know, will I be approved? That's why we're here. Tune in for our next YouTube live stream next Thursday, where we talk about the Canadian programs. And of course, we've got 20 different programs and countries to offer. And of course, during this meantime, we release a lot of videos and content regarding global residency and citizenship programs, no matter who you are, where you're from, where you're planning to go. And only the best of the best are included in our channel here on our YouTube channel. We do not offer or promote any programs which we would not be willing to invest or apply for ourselves or for our family members. If it's on our list, we approve. If it's not, there's a reason for it. Thank you, folks. See you next Thursday live, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And remember, don't just apply for the sake of applying. Apply with a plan. And that's why we're here to support you. Thank you, folks. Take care. Bye-bye. And all the best for your first day of spring, March 20th.